Okay, it's your buddy Mike Messier, special Mike's Meals. We're doing first time ever for me, but I'm sure others, many of you have done this. The Taco Bell morning breakfast, and I went a little new agey. They had the steak and burrito thing, and I ordered that initially, and then I saw this green fucking thing representing the vegan option. And not to rip off fucking good old Ryback, the wrestler, but I decided, well, this vegan stuff looks like meat, so I guess that's the point. If I can show you this, if you're not. But anyway, it looks meat-ish, but it's supposed to be the vegan option. And look, I had about a 2-year deal, 2.5 years of pescatarian. If you don't know, that's when you eat seafood but not red meat. Here we go. Okay, the first thing I noticed is that I just had like a mouthful of flour. So what I'm going to do with this thing, and I've done this before with other Taco Bell items, I'm going to rip off some of the excess flouring. I'm not a medical expert, but that's probably where all the calories are. The carbs and the calories, and they don't even, it's not like you're getting any value out of them. The flour shell thing. No, of course, I just ripped too much off and it's falling apart, but we'll be okay. We'll figure it out. These were $1 each, and look, they taste pretty good, to be honest with you, but for $1, if you had kids and you just needed to throw them some food, they would probably be fine. I did get an orange juice. The orange juice was $1.99. My thought is that, although it's only $1, if you think about the people that work there and everything, it's probably just breaking even for Taco Bell to charge you $1 for that. I mean, this is, it's okay, but when you think about it, you're basically eating like nacho cheese and a little bit of this vegan meat or whatever it is. There appears to be some egg type substance in here. I got 3 of them. They're not bad. I mean, I don't know if you want to see this or not, close your eyes, but I did remove a lot of this excess flour. She did give me napkins. You know what I did, folks? I'm a nice guy. I appreciate good service, and knowing that the Taco Bell lady probably doesn't get a lot of love in her life. And maybe she does, who knows. This one looks better, but I'm going to remove some of this excess flour. This one looks more grilled, well done, which I like. I gave her $1 tip. I paid with the card, and then I actually rolled down the window to give her $1 tip. To be honest, I think this is a different thing that I got here. I think this is the Fiesta one, and the other one was like a regular meat one, because this one is totally different. I think when I changed my order, there was mass confusion in there. And I think that I got kind of a hybrid of two orders. If that makes any sense? Like they started my order and then I changed it and they had already started throwing stuff in the bag and then they were like, oh, whatever. You'll eat it. This one has potatoes that are visible. I believe that this is the correct order. I think what I had just now was different. Special shout out, thanks to Carl. Carl, I forgot you last night, buddy. I did a big long thanks to everybody. I forgot Carl, I forgot Luthez. What would Luthez do? Lou's always nice. CG, or Chris. I'm getting my names. See, the thing is, folks, I have like kind of a memory thing. I can remember a wrestling match from 1982, but people's names I have a hard time with, especially cyber friends. You know, if it's not people I've met in real life, it's hard. Benny Scala with the Dan and Benny podcast, very supportive. Enjoying Schtick Man. Schtick Man premiere launched last night. Benny was very receptive. So where am I? I'm in Orlando, Florida. I can go to Epcot. I can do whatever I want. I'm a free man. Not to get too dramatic on you folks, but part of the thing of doing things, in my mind, is just being able to do stuff without feeling the need to but it's kind of the humanity, because look, I could just not do anything. I could not make these videos, but you know, if you ever listen to Tony Robbins, and I know he's out there sometimes, but a lot of times he's good. He has these six fucking rules of human nature. If you look it up, the 6 things, and some of them are contrasting. For instance, people have the need for consistency and the need for change. 6 human needs for consistency and change. So what could consistency be? Well, I like to read my morning paper, or I like to walk the dog 5 times a week, or I like to call my sister, 3 times a month. And if you break that chain of behavior, you get a little upset. Or I like to watch the basketball playoffs every year, or whatever. I like to watch the horse races. I like to do this. I like to do that. But then you also need the change, the variable. Now, this is where people are different. Some people, for me, a drastic change was to move from Rhode Island to Florida, and I'm still kind of dealing with that change, especially this whole year and a half of COVID mania. Has been tough for everybody, and probably not even, I know it's not been the toughest for me, because I've had a pretty good little existence in COVID times. I'm empathetic and sympathetic to the world's plight, the people that are suffering, etc. But I have to deal with my own situation. And for instance, now I'm totally changing the point, but I woke up this morning and normally the variable would be, I'm going to put the Today Show on. I want to see what Savannah Guthrie's wearing. I want to hear her raspy voice tell me about the world's problems. And then maybe I'll put on, and I always put on Shannon and Skip, Undisputed. I put them on first. That's sports talk show. And you know what? Here's the thing. I listen to more sports talk shows. I'm going to sip a little water. I listen to more sports talk shows. And especially in New England, I listen to sports radio all the time. I never know who the fuck they're talking about. When they're talking about some receiver or Julian Edelman or whatever the fuck they're talking about, I don't know what the hell I really don't, because I can never process what they're talking about to what I'm watching on the court. Because I do watch the games, but there's just some type of dissent for me, especially with football. I could never match up what they're talking about on TV with when I'm watching the games, but I do both. But what I enjoy is the rapport. I enjoy the back and forth between Shannon and Skip. Scannon, how's that for a name? Scannon and Skip and Shannon. And then I'd switch on to First Take, and I want to see Molly, what's her name, Queerum Rose. Interesting who she got married. You know, she's very attractive. And but if it's not Max and Stephen A. Smith, I get upset. Like if they have guest hosts, I really get irate. There's tomatoes in this thing. So the point is, we need change and we need consistency. Now, with me, you know, I'm always like, I'm looking for an escape from an escape. You know what I mean? Like just coming to Florida and moving there in the first place was an escape. And then it's like, well, that escape's not good enough. Now I need to go to Orlando for another escape. You know what I mean? And then it's like, well, go to Disney World's a nice escape, but what's my escape from that? So it's it's like a video game. It's like always hiding, you know, always looking for another trench to hide in to avoid whatever, to avoid responsibility or human connection or whatever the fuck. Or maybe it's just looking for more and more fun. You know, I've been thinking about that last night. You know, I got into a situation last night where a bit of emotions came up, and I said, man, I think that I'm still trying to. There used to be a term, maybe in the late '80s or the '90s, which was, nurture your inner child. Well, my inner child's been pretty well nurtured by me. Because to be honest, I don't know if I truly enjoyed childhood. It happened. I mean, I lived through it. However, I don't know if I truly enjoyed it for variable reasons, many reasons. So now I'm just indulging. And, you know, people might say, or people have said, oh, gee whiz, Mike, why don't you settle down? Well, why? You know what I mean? There's people that have kids. I just talked to a nice gentleman yesterday. And as I'm trying to have a conversation with this nice gentleman, there's antics of children in the background, and the guy just wants to have a phone call. But I can hear like these kids making noises, like wheezing noises or whatever the fuck they're doing. And the guy's like, man, do you have kids? I said, nope. He's like, oh, I wish I didn't have kids. And he's saying that, and his poor children are right in the background. So I wonder, to an extent, you know, I guess I wonder about all these kids that have parents I wish they didn't exist, you know, but I'm not, I guess I don't know. I mean, the poor guy was telling me, my whole life I wanted to have kids, now I have them, and I wish I didn't. I think there's a societal pressure, mostly on women, but also on men. You have to conform, you have to have these fucking children. But think about all the people you know that are divorced, and there's step parents involved, and there's step siblings, and all these things. And you hear everyone trying to justify it. Oh, we're a blended family, and this is my real dad. I met him when I was 27, you know? Like, it's fine. I'm not picking on anybody. I mean, it's just our basic human survival needs to feel loved and accepted and all that crap. But if you really come down to it, if you hit a certain age in life and you're not married with kids, then you start to look around and you're like, everyone I know that's married with kids is pretty fucking miserable. Or I would say 80 to 90% of the people I know that are married. I can think of about 2 marriages in my life of people that I know that worked. Like, oh yeah, they should be married to each other. And the others are like, I don't know. So you just see people with that dread of life. These tomatoes are throwing the whole goddamn thing off. So I believe what happened is the first breakfast burrito was egg and meat. This one is the vegan one with like tomatoes. I really had my mind around the McDonald's breakfast. I always feel that I've accomplished something when I'm at McDonald's in time to get the breakfast. Look at all this wrapping. So this has got the potatoes in it. This is definitely the vegan option. Once again, I'm going to remove some of this crust. I just feel better about myself when I do that. Like, I know that this is not the healthiest thing to eat, but if I remove some of the unnecessary breading, I feel like I'm doing a little bit better with my life. So I just took some breading off. There's still a hell of a lot of breading. What if I said that to him? Look, Taco Bell lady, I know you're doing a nice job and I gave you a $1 tip yesterday. Could you minimize my breading? I'd like you to minimize my breading. I'm going to have to roll up the window. Someone parked next to me, blonde lady, smoking a cigarette. She looks very 1988, like very like old school, kind of blonde. Looks like she just picked up a sailor at a bar last night. No judgment. And one of the Taco Bell associates went into her car, and now they're having a conversation. I'll show you the street real quick. That's exciting. See that? Back to me. Any fucking way. Any other thoughts or insights? Not really. So I got a big fucking Disney week ahead. Family. So forth. There's nothing like iced water. Okay, so if you came here for the actual thoughts on the food, I haven't articulated it too well. There's not a whole lot of options for my site for the Taco Bell breakfast menu. Not a whole lot of options. I do like this vegan option though. I give them credit that it's something to eat. If you're a vegan, it has the green fucking V on it. So there looks to be like an egg substitute of some kind. A potato-like substance. It's good. It's cheap. That's probably the best thing to say about it. This is what I was going to get to earlier. This Cisco and Monsanto and all this stuff. If you folks want to chime in on the comments, inform me. And Obama signing like the Monsanto Food Protection Act. What do you know about it? What does it mean to us? I do feel like a lot of times when we're eating this food, it all does kind of taste alike, and it's all just variations of corn syrup and crap. So I got a new book, the Nick Aldis book. He is a wrestler, yes, but it's supposedly about fitness and eating and stuff. and the guy is a NWA World Champion. I'm going to read his book and do a review. Now, of course, I have like a million fucking books that I'm supposed to be reading at any given time, and it's always hard for me to sit there and read them. And I've got all types of books. I've got the Nick Aldis book is right here, the Superstar Body. I know when I go into the fucking Epcot and they see this book, they're going to think I'm a homosexual, which is okay, but I'm not. But it's like, no, it's a wrestling book. It's a workout book. They're like, yeah, sure, buddy. Well, it's a small world after all. Half instructional, half motivational. The Superstar Body is a guide to what it takes. So I'll give credit to one of our buddies here, Mark with a C. See, I did remember Mark with a C, last name T. Because of him and his Nick Aldis request, I got the book. I got the fucking Nick Aldis book. Now here's the real kicker. Will I read it? I think I will. And I might just sit there, believe it or not, in Epcot and sit and read. Now I'm prepping for my adventure. I'm putting on my little, they call it a magic pass. Okay. So I'm putting that on. You know, I've got a really nice one, this Darth Vader one. And I'm going to put that on my wrist. I might do my future self a favor and put gas in my car now. I might also go somewhere and buy some masks, hopefully just at the gas station. The reason being, although I'm fully vaccinated, is that at Disney you have to wear a mask regardless. And my little face gator things that probably don't do anything unless I sneeze, they would absorb my sneeze. But the fucking, they're not good enough apparently. Now here's another thing that I like to do is I get a certain enjoyment out of putting trash in a bag. Like there's a certain enjoyment of that. I'm gonna put this sunscreen in my bag. I'm a real gentleman today. I'm really trying to be a gentleman. I'm a little nervous that this sunscreen will come undone. I'm a real Florida fuck right now. That's what it comes down to. I'm starting to feel like a real Floridian, which is fine. I do like it here, and I would suggest others give it a shot. I mean, I think what happens with a lot of people from the Northeast who maybe have never lived in the south of the Mason-Dixon line or whatever the fuck, they have this preconceived notion, which to me, you just have to get over it. But you know what? I don't know. I mean, people do what the fuck they want. I've kind of given up to some extent on trying to tell people what they should do with their lives because they don't listen. So when people don't want to listen to you, typically what happens is they don't listen to you, they do what they want, they fuck up, and then they say, oh, you were right. Yeah, usually. So what can I do? Excuse me. I try to, that's, you know, I've been thinking about this too. I try to give people good advice, counsel, and a lot of times they don't listen to me. So after a while, I stop wanting to give advice, quite frankly. You know, if you're not going to fucking listen to me, world, why should I tell you all these wonderful things? So there you have it. If you're not going to listen to me, why should I talk? But that's not for you, folks. 714. I saw that the membership subscribers went up, which is really nice. One of these days I'm going to, well, fuck, just everything's coming out now. You know, I used to be a kid, and I remember high school, a friend of mine and I were trying to discover what we're going to do with our lives. And I said, well, I want to write books. And he said, well, my mother wrote a book and she can't get it published, and book publishing is very tough, blah, blah, blah. Just my buddy went on this huge rant against book writing because of his fucking mother, which, no offense to her, but I don't know if she's as good a writer as I am. But here we are, years later, and my pal was correct in the sense that the book industry is tough to get published. But now with things like Amazon and others, it doesn't have to be Amazon, it's so much easier to just fucking produce your own book, as I have, A Distance from Avalon, When the Dying and the Dead Reunite. And I'm taking my vitamin B. Another thing was, so I have all these vitamins that I like to organize in my vitamin case, but like it's totally unorganized right now. I'm just taking random biotins, random shit. Hopefully something will work. I'm just loading up on stuff. This might be something interesting. I wish I had my probiotic in here. That would be nice. I do feel the need for some kombucha. Every once in a while, I'm a big kombucha advocate. But the point is, what is the point? It's easier now to do shit. You know, like if you want to write a book, write your fucking book. Get it on Amazon. The hardest part for most people is to actually sit there and write it. Not to think about it or worry about the goddamn distribution. You have a fucking idea, write the book. You want to make a video, you want people to hear, do a fucking YouTube channel. So all these wonderful things that are coming in the last 10, 15, 20 years, back in my day, yes, there was books and there was videos, but we had to send fucking tapes to film festivals. We had to do shit like that. And now you don't. So in my mind, eventually it's going to come down to, if you have an idea for a movie, you're literally going to have a thought in your head, and then you're going to produce the movie. Like it's just going to magically appear on a screen somehow. So anyway, that's it. Mike Messier. Thanks for watching this breakfast rant. For those that were expecting like some type of fucking review of Taco Bell breakfast, I don't know what to say. This is just what I do. I do Mike's Meals. You just feel like you're sitting here listening to me. I have noticed that my videos tend to pick up steam. Like I'm like, I need to get going. It's kind of like my day. I need to work up to it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Mike Messier.